What's up, y'all? I'm back out here at the range, as you can see back behind me. Super nice day out here. I swear it's still winter out here, although it's supposed to be close to 70 degrees today. Just freezing one day, a couple days ago, and 70 degrees the next. Crazy weather for sure this winter. If it wasn't for the wind blowing out here, I'd probably be out here in some shorts and flip-flops. But I'm definitely glad to see it so I can get some things done out here, and we're gonna start it off with a 22 mag test. So as you can see, the good old jelly contraption's ready to roll out here with the chrono and 2 freshly melted blocks of gel. Not a single test done in these yet, so we'll get a really nice clear picture of what happens. Also, as you can see, even though it's done turned warm out here today, we're still gonna keep with the heavy clothing barrier with the layer of denim, layer of fleece, and then 2 layers of cotton t-shirt material. And as y'all can already see, what we're testing here is some Winchester DynaPoint 22 mag. This was actually requested in another one of my videos in the comments that I test these DynaPoints out. I've never actually tried this and didn't have any, but just so happens my local shop just got some of these in, so I went and grabbed a couple boxes of them. Not a very expensive 22 mag, and none of them's cheap nowadays, but as far as the prices on most of them, this one's a little cheaper than most of them. I honestly don't expect much out of this round. This is a 45 grain. They calling it a hollow point, but I don't know how well that's gonna come through. I mean, it's more like a golf ball dimple, y'all. I mean, just barely any kind of cavity in the front there. They're claiming 1,550 feet per second, and they're calling it a small game round, so I'm assuming that's out of a longer barrel even. 1,550 feet per second for a 45 grain 22 mag. That's a little anemic if you ask me. Now, as far as the tools we're using out here today, this Barkeep was actually mentioned as one of the things they would like me to test it out of, so I'm gonna use this Barkeep for one, the little Heritage revolver with the 2 5/8 inch barrel on it. And then from there, we'll move it on up to the Walther WMP with the 4.5 inch barrel. And then for more along the lines of what these rounds are probably meant to be ran out of, I'm gonna use the CMR30 with the 16 inch barrel. So y'all getting a 3-for out here today as far as barrel length goes. I personally don't think they're gonna perform very well out of any of these out here, even the 16 inch, just based on the way this projectile is looking, the design of it, the velocities that they're saying we can expect from them. But hopefully I'm wrong. Let me get this stuff set up and let's check them out. All right, let's get us some speeds on these things. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with this little 2 5/8 inch Barkeep first. Remember, the box is saying 1550, but I definitely don't expect to see it, especially from this Barkeep. Well, let's see what we get here. 968, 895, 968 again, 1011, and 951. So not only were we a far cry from 1550, those things were pretty much all over the place, some of them. Let's go check that average out. All right, so the 5-round average from the Barkeep is 958, and we had an extreme spread on that group of like 116, so definitely all over the place. Now, some of that could be the ammo, some of it's definitely these little Heritage revolvers. They're not built with the tightest tolerances, everybody knows that, but that's sub 1,000. I don't expect much of anything from this one, but let me get this reset and let's move on to the WMP. All right, let's see what they do from this 4.5 inch WMP. It wouldn't surprise me if we get some kind of cycling issues with this, if they're moving too slow, just because, I mean, 22 mag, that's slow for 22 mag, y'all. 1232, 1203. We didn't cycle there. I had a feeling. 1185, 1205, and 1226. I can even just feel how slow this slide is moving from that, y'all. You can just feel the slide just being sluggish from that. So let's check the average on it. All right, so the 5-round average that time was 1,210 feet per second, and to cut the extreme spread in about half. So a lot of that, I'm sure, was that little Heritage revolver. Even still, 1210 for a 4.5 inch 22 Magnum. That's a little weak if you ask me, but let me reset it and let's check out the CMR30. All right, let's see what they'll do out of this CMR30. This is definitely more of what these things were designed for, in my opinion, small game type use. They're saying 1550, so let's see if they can even reach that from this 16 inch barrel. I seriously doubt it. 1561. Well, it proved me wrong, but it didn't cycle that. Didn't even eject it. I've never, as far as I can remember, I don't think I've ever had a problem with this CMR30 running anything I put in it. Maybe that was just a one-time thing. It did prove me wrong though, as far as the speed. It went over 1550. Now let's finish it up here. 1536, 1545, 1501, and 1572. So a few of them about half and half there, over 1550, a little bit under. So let's go check that average and check out the data. All right, so that time our average out the 16-inch barrel is 1,543 feet per second. So definitely more in line of what they're claiming out of that stuff. Even still, 1550, like I said from the beginning, to me, that's weak for a 45 grain 22 mag, but it is what it is. We knew what they were claiming from the start. So 1543 on that one, and I'll refresh your memory on the other ones. The little Barkeep gave us an average of 958, and the WMP gave us 1210. So looks like about 200 or so in between each one of them going to the next step. Just looking at it off the top of my head, I'll put the info on the screen, of course. So should be interesting to see what we get here. Again, I'm still sticking to my guess that I don't think we're going to see much out of any of these. We may see some tumbling out of the shorter barrels. The longer one, we may see a little mushrooming or something, but I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, but let me get it reset and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's triple mag jelly time. We'll put one round from each barrel into the gel, starting with this little Barkeep first. Let's see what we can do down there. I can say I don't expect much at all from this little thing. Maybe it will surprise me though. All right, I think that went right where I wanted. Hopefully it stayed in. Let me go down there and check it out. All right, that's a perfect spot for that one down there. Pretty much what I figured we'd see, although it looks a little better than I expected, honestly. I've seen a lot worse than that for sure. So let's see what this WMP can do with the longer barrel to it. I'm gonna try to put this one right up under that one. Hopefully, I ain't trying to get too fancy and get us all in a mess here. All right, I think that went exactly where I wanted it to go. Let me go down there and check that one out. All right, we're still looking good down there. Perfect placement, lined up nice with each other. I'm gonna try to thread the needle, get fancy with this one and put it in between those other two with the CMR30 here. I should be all right though, because this LPVO, it's got drop marks, so I've kind of figured out where exactly I need to aim, so shouldn't be no problem here. Well, let's see what we do, y'all. Hopefully this one mushrooms it open a little bit. I'm starting to change my tune on them. Those really don't look too bad so far. Let's see what this will do. All right, that should have been a perfect hit. Let me go down there and see what we got. All right, let's check out what we got down here, y'all. Just glancing at it, I'm having to eat my words a little bit on this one. I expected poor performance from all three of them, and really we got just the opposite here. I wouldn't call it fantastic performance because of the energy, but you know, again, it's not meant for those shorter barrels like that. So for what these things were running out of, I think they all three did pretty well. So starting up here on the top, that was the one out of our little Barkeep with the 2 5/8 inch barrel. You can see it comes in here, got some nice disruption there. I don't know if it tumbled there. That looks like a tumble that I usually see, but the projectile's still facing forward. Now it could have tumbled back around, who knows? It's really impossible to say there, but either way, pretty nice disruption all the way through the channel there. And then you can see the projectile, like I said, facing forward. Looks like maybe about a little over half, about half, 3/4 of the way through the block there, but we'll measure it here in a second. And then the next one was out of the WMP. That's the one on the very bottom down there. Again, as you can see, it comes in here, really nice disruption all the way through the channel there. Very, very nice disruption, still almost all the way to the end, and it pokes into this second block about the length of the projectile, so maybe a 1/4, 1/2 inch, 3/8 inch, 1/2 inch, something like that, just barely into that second block. And then last but definitely not least is the one in the middle there out of the CMR30 with the 16-inch barrel. That's more indicative of what this round is meant to be run from, the longer rifle length barrels. As as you can see, that one comes in really nice disruption right there. You can tell it started opening up because a bunch of disruption there, a lot more than the other two. Again, a lot of nice disruption all the way through the channel here, and it stops here, I would say definitely about 3/4 of the way through this first block, and you can tell it's expanded for sure. But as far as the penetration on them, this Barkeep is got exactly 11 inches of forward momentum, maybe about 3/8 inches of rebound, but exactly 11 inches on that Barkeep. The one out of the WMP, it actually went exactly a 1/2 inch into that second block, so 16.5 inches on the WMP. And then the one out of the 16-inch CMR30 is exactly 12.5 inches, and some really nice expansion on that one. I think y'all got a pretty good view of all of them, but just bring you in a little bit closer here. Again, on the top, the Barkeep, the middle, the CMR30, and the bottom, the WMP. So, like I said, I'm having to eat my words for sure, because none of them look bad at all. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. So right here, obviously, that's the CMR30. Again, fantastic expansion on that thing. Just a perfect little mushroom of expansion right there. You really can't ask for any more than that. I'm really surprised it did expand this well, just because of how shallow these cavities are on these things. I guess it just had enough velocity to get it to mushroom on out. So very nice expansion from that one. Now these two here is a different story for sure. They just didn't have the speed to get opened up. This one right here is the Barkeep. You can plainly see the cavity there, really no kind of deformation even. Now this one is a little crooked. I don't know if I can get the right angle, but it is got a little bit of a curve in it, so it may have tumbled in that disruption we've seen in the gel. Really, like I said, who knows. This one here out of the WMP, pretty much the same, but you can tell that extra velocity did have it try to do a little something. You can see there, and you can see how the cavity is way more flattened out there. But let's get some measurements on them and see what we got. I don't really see any material in the gel other than the cloth, but we'll check them. They all started at 45. The one from the Barkeep here, you got 45.2. The one from the WMP, 44.8. And then the one here from the CMR30, 44.7. So pretty much all the same, within just a couple of points of each other. Could be manufacturing tolerances that could have lost a crumb or two, but pretty much what we were expecting to see. Now as far as expansion, obviously not a whole lot to see on a couple of them here. So 227, 225 on the Barkeep. Like I said, no kind of expansion on that one. And really the same deal on that WMP. The only difference we'll probably see, and it's going to be hard to capture this I think, but let me see what I can do. If I capture just the end there, you got about 0.158. And then if I do it on the WMP here, you got 0.178. So like I was saying, and you can plainly see, I believe, even on camera, it definitely mashed it flatter and made it a little bit bigger there because of that extra speed with the WMP. Now the CMR30 here did get some expansion. We got 406, 392, and 382. So actually some pretty nice expansion on that little 22 mag from the CMR30. So there you have it, y'all. The Winchester DynaPoint 22 mag through a few different barrel lengths here. Surprised me all the way around, I have to admit. Y'all heard me at the beginning. I expected the worst out of all three of these. Really decent performance out of all of them though. Out of this, what it's really meant to be out of the 16-inch barrel, I'd say that's about perfect performance right there. You really can't ask for a whole lot more there. The one thing I will stick by that I said at the beginning is the velocity on these things. I'd like to see a little more velocity all across the board out of all three of these, especially out of the shorter stuff. Now I know they're not meant for the shorter stuff, but even out of this 16-inch barrel, 1550 to me is just, it's a little bit low for a 22 mag, but y'all let me know what y'all think about it. All right, y'all, we're calling it a wrap right there for this 22 mag test. This DynaPoint sure proved me wrong out here. I expected nothing but the worst out of all three of these barrel lengths, but it definitely proved me wrong. Again, nothing stellar out here as far as performance, especially, like I say, the velocity, which makes the energy lower. I'd really like to see some more velocity out of these, but as far as the actual performance in the gel, really nice performance out of all three of them, especially those little short barrels, which this stuff is not made for. You really can't ask for a whole lot better performance out of those, being that this stuff's not made for that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Any of y'all out there use these DynaPoints? Do you use them in shorter barrels, longer barrel stuff? Have you hunted with them? Let me know down in the comments what your experience is. If you did enjoy the video, take a second if you would and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification icon so you can get notified when I upload new stuff. Check out those affiliate links in the video description. You know the deal with that Amazon. If you shop through there anyway, hit up that storefront link. You go straight through Amazon like normal from there, and anything you buy anywhere on the site after that, I get a kickback from them towards the channel. Same goes for those axle links. If you're in the market for some really nice ear pro, hit up those links down there and you can save a lot of money instead of hitting up their site directly. Like I always tell you, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel like y'all do. Tons of good stuff coming your way, so be on the lookout for it. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see y'all soon.